Besides everything else and it being difficult to take photos and post them on PhotoBucket, my iPad is not working properly. I keep typing in a letter and it won't go, and then all of a sudden I get 20 Zs or 20 As or 20 Bs, and it's just impossible. Anyway, this is the damage that I've assessed so far. The screen totally shot, the nose cone fairing totally shot, the clutch lever and the bit it goes onto, well, it's not totally shot, but it's ground down. The bars, I'm not sure if they're bent or not, it's hard to see, but the bar end is twisted at an angle and it's ground down, so I would expect it to be. The hop grip's ground down a bit. The speedo assembly, the whole, what do you call it, the whole encasing is shot because it went straight through the nose cone fairing and straight through to there. The tank's got a small dent on the top, and it's not come off as bad as you'd think it has, and that was caused, the bars must have bent right back into the tank, and the Clicktronic unit that hangs below the bars has scratched and dented the top. It's also that the bike must have been on the tank as it was sliding down at one stage, because the left hand tank badge is scratched right down. The left hand indicator's totally gone. The left hand engine protector looks like it's done its job, but it's at an angle, and I'm a bit concerned that maybe the frame is bent. I don't know. The left hand rear indicator's gone as well. The rear rack saved a lot of the Rentec rear rack saved a lot of damage, I think, because you can see the grinding if I take pictures at some stage at the back where it's gone down the road, but it saved further damage. The left hand mirror is also, and the housing is totally shot, the bit that it goes into. But the worst thing for me is the Clicktronic is hanging off, so there's no way I can get it into gear. I don't know if it's been damaged going down the road, or if it's just sheared a bolt or something that holds it in onto the frame, but I can't bend down to look at it at the moment, and I'm not going to lie down on the floor with the way I am at the moment. So my real concern is, has the frame been bent and has the forks been damaged? I have contacted Carol Nash, and Carol Nash have put this assessor on from Manchester, who just asked me the damage, which I could see, which is this, and then they immediately said they were going to write it off because it was too much work for them and the bike's too old to be worth repairing or something. So now it's gone to AXA, and I have to wait for AXA to make a decision on what they're going to do. But I have practically begged them to come and inspect the vehicle, because I can't do it. I'm not exactly sure what's done, and I would rather know exactly what needs doing, because if it's the frame, I don't think there's any point in me even trying to do anything with it. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to tell you about is the equipment. That it stood up to its job. I had a Shoei NXR helmet on, and I think I've only ground down the side of the visor here, because my head was on the floor as I was gliding down the road, and sparks were coming up, but it's not as bad as you would think. I mean, it's worn down quite a bit there, but I can't see any damage on the helmet. I know I should replace the helmet anyway, but I've just found out I'm not covered in a fault accident. If they say the accident's my fault, I'm not covered. I didn't know that. But there you go. Lesson learned. And they said I should have paid an extra £40 for that. The tank bag must have come off because it's ground down a bit on there. But that's just minor, really. Zip's kind of working there. I couldn't find any damage on the Belstaff gloves as well, at all. Yet my thumb, which has now gone down a lot, had a massive lump on it, and this finger was really hurting as well. So I guess the gloves did their job. And one thing I've definitely learnt in this accident, you've got to have your gloves done up so that they don't come off your wrist, and you've got to have your jacket done up so that it doesn't ride up if you slide down the road. The Ferragamo jacket, which is a lovely soft Italian leather, has really done its job. This was it's a bit dark in here, but this is the main impact area on this shoulder here, and that's why I broke or cracked the ribs, which, strangely enough, seem to be having a miraculously quick recovery from. They still hurt, but not as much as they did on the day. The stitching started to come off. The jacket sleeve must have ridden up or something. I'm sure my gloves didn't come off, but the stitching's coming off here, and it's rubbed down on here as well, and on the other side it's quite thin there. It's almost through, I think. And then on the chest here, it's hard to see, it's a bit dark in here, but there's damage there and damage there, and some damage on the back. But I'm going to get this patched up by Claydon Leather Repairs if I can, as I really like this jacket, and he's put vents on the back of it for me. You can't have everything. The Outback boots, another absolute saviour. I've got some scuffing on the toe there, and some other minor scuffing around the rand, and I think there might be some on this boot, but boy did they do their job. If I'd been wearing trainers or something like I see some people, I wouldn't have any feet left. Absolutely fantastic piece of kit. The Dragon jeans are upstairs, I put them away, but they did their job as well. They've rubbed through to a lighter colour on the knees, but they haven't gone through at all, not even through the denim on the outside. And if you can see, well, if you see, my knees are actually killing me. You know I've got knackered knees anyway, but these road rashes, or rashes from the Kevlar, really hurt. So all in all, I'm pleased with my kit. I'll get the jacket patched up as best I can. If I could find another one of the same model, I'd buy it. But this one was a good fit on me, and I had the adjusters quite tight on the side. It didn't ride up. Really, I realise now that if you do attach it to your trousers, it's better, but that's not the way I do things. Anyway, thanks for looking. I just thought I'd give you an update because it's quicker and easier than trying to type. Oh yes, this is how much I run down, because I had an end on the zip pull there, so that zip pull's gone down the road as well. But you know, my badge is still there, and it's still the same to me as it's always been. Live to ride, ride to live. But will I have the courage to get back on the bike again? I don't know.